Hey guys. So, I thought I'd take some time to do some question and answers. I know you're thinking like, well, I think there's maybe a grand total of 20 views across all 40 of your videos, David. Who's asking you any questions? Well, I can hear them in my mind. And I'm not trying to don't get spooked or anything, but like I'm in good company here because Johnny Carson, I think was the Amazing Kreskin. Yeah, he used to do the same thing, so it's okay. So I'm gonna pick up questions, okay, and then I'm gonna answer them. And I'm gonna do this for like 10 minutes. So we have a 10 minutes Q&A, okay? It's cool. So the first question comes from some mysterious female in the ether who sounds very haughty. I think she's sort of short and plump. I think she wears glasses, like a skirt, maybe some sort of weird patterned shirt. But anyway, and she says, "So you're sitting in the bathroom with your Kimber again, David? Do you have all these guns to feel more like a man?" And anyway, I'm here to answer that. My answer to that is, yeah. I do actually have these in a lot of ways. I don't know if it's to feel more like a man. I don't know, because I felt like, I have a dick either way, whether I have one of these or not. And for a long time I didn't, and I still had a dick. I did. But you really shouldn't rag on me that much, because I don't really have to say anymore, but I just think this is a great segue into something else real quick, which is that, I can't tell you how many women in my life I've seen tit nursing their dogs, okay? And it's sort of like, oh, does having a puppy make you feel more like a woman? All right, and we can just get real cruel with this stuff, all right? And what I think of when something like a woman says something like, oh, does that make you feel more like an ex? Or does having that motorcycle make you feel more? Or does having that Ferrari make you feel, okay, whatever. What I think they're really trying to say is like, are you having good orgasms with your dick? Because, and this is, let's just take this a little further. If you were having good enough orgasms with your dick, then you wouldn't need all this other shit, right? And then if you take that a little further, well, the only way you're going to have good orgasms with your dick is with me. So what we're really hearing here is, why aren't you paying enough attention to me? And if I knew who or where you were, I would. Anyway, let's go on to the next question. So let's see. This one is like, David, are you serious? And I can't quite, this is just sort of a nondescript male voice, youngish, probably somewhat good looking and earnest and sincere. It says, David, are you really serious about free food and shelter for everyone? I can't think of anything worse. Okay, well, I'll take this question, and that's like, well, I don't know. I owned a house, my family owned a house for like maybe 2 years out of like all 40 I've been alive. And, I've been with landlords, I've been with, rental agreements. I don't know. But I think what I'm really trying, I'm not going to get into the philosophy and go through some other crap again. What I just want to say is that, yeah, people really seem to be horrified by that idea. They just really seem to be horrified. It's like, it's just very strange. Like, when you think of the primitives you were gathered, like the nut and fruit gatherers who, gathering nuts and berries to stay alive, the hunter-gatherers that supposedly we came from. I just really have a hard time imagining that they were, like, put out, that their food and shelter was free, okay? Yeah, they had to go get it and everything, but if the whole purpose of our society is to rise above the limitations of nature, then it seems like the most commonsensical, practical thing you could do is to have free food and shelter for everyone. That's what we want, isn't it? That's why we have a society, is to all work together to protect each other and give each other what we couldn't get otherwise. And if we're not doing that, and we're in fact trying desperately to have a system which does anything but that, then you could argue you don't have a society. What you have is something else, but not a society as Rousseau would have construed it, or Aristotle, or anything that historically we thought about, because the purpose of the society was to help everyone. So if you're really horrified by that, I think that's a good thing, because that prompts you to give me a real reason why that couldn't be, and not just the standard tropes. A real reason why it is that I mean, it's just like, I'm sorry, but it's just too limiting a construct to actually be human in. Okay, next question. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to figure and tune in something here. Like, let's see. Like, oh, here we go. This is a nice one. This seems to be an older woman. I get the sense that she's very elite. Oh my God. I mean, this is like somewhere in New York City, somewhere. At a desk with glasses. She actually has a real desk, folks. Oh shit, man. It's like a real, like actually made of like wood and shit or something. Yeah, I'm serious. And she seems kind of condescending, but for some reason intrigued or piqued or some interest piqued. She says like, David, have you ever had sex? Well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you about that. I mean, Jesus, I don't even know what to take that question, because I'm not sure what it really has to do with like, what I'm trying to accomplish with these rants, because I haven't really talked about anything personal, and I haven't really tried to get it personal with anyone else like that, but well, let's see. Well, I think I had sex with my dad when I was 9. I'm not sure. No, maybe I was 11. I'm not sure about that, because like he said that I was beginning to sound really heterosexual, because my dad was real open about sex. He had Playboys and Playgirls like right next to Time and Newsweek, on the living room table. I mean, like one time the cops happened to knock on the door when he had 10 porno magazines lying on the ground and all his smoking stuff and shit. It was, my dad was a pretty open guy. I mean, he wandered around, and also, but he said like, hey Dave, let's try it out. I don't want you to just become like this, like, straight heterosexual, closed-laced, robot like everyone else around us. So, I mean, so I did have that experience, and then, I think I had one other, but I think that one's technically illegal, so I can't discuss that one. And then, like, one time I tried to get on was like, most of the time when I try to hit on other people, they get just scared as shitless. I mean, it's just really amazing. Because, I've had a lot of girls be really attracted to me, but once they start to know a little about me, as you can imagine, they just go away. So the answer is not very much. And I'll just say it straight out, because who needs to lie anymore, man? Anyway, so let's see. What's the next question out there? It's like, oh, here we go. Like, this is really disappointing, guys, because these questions have nothing to do with, like, the rebellion or anything I'm trying to do, but okay. The question, all right, I don't know who this dude is. I think it's something like, little, like maybe some of a scruffier version of the last guy, but it's like, how many guns do you have? And, I'm not going to take that question. I'm actually not going to answer that one, because, I just, tactically, I'm not sure it's wise. Anyway, so let's see. Is there anything else out there? Oh, here we go. This one sounds like a really... Oh, this one's a heavy hitter. I mean, I should be honored, really. This is a heavy hitter, okay? But this one's like, okay, some guy in a very expensive suit. He's like, David, you fucking schmuck. Why are you such a loser? Why can't you just accept that they're winners? Here, take my dick. And I might be sounding a little strong there, but that's the sentiment, basically. It's just this sort of like sneering, you mother, whatever. But well, I don't really know how to answer that one. Shit. This has all been so negative. I was just like, shoot. I don't know, I was thinking about something a little more constructive here. I mean, I've said all these things. I mean, I mean, I've had like spiritual sources. I sort of talk about how like people only understand like 18% of what you say, but this is just demoralizing. Goddamn. Well, I guess winners and losers are all like from where you stand, dude. I mean, I guess, if you were to, the general, one of Hitler's star armies, I guess that's an accomplishment, all right? I mean, no one's going to deny it. I mean, a very effective war machine, and it was very effective, and it developed a blitzkrieg and everything, and it's like, it just depends what your perspective is. I mean, on one hand, yes, you're the general, one of the greatest and most deadliest armies that humanity ever knew or ever conceived of, but then on the other hand, you're soldiering for Hitler. I mean, it's just sort of like, okay, well, who do you respect more? Do you respect the pretzel man who sells pretzels on the streets of New York and makes a great pretzel, supports his family, saving up to put his kid through college? Or do you respect the head general of Hitler's war machine? I mean, I don't know. It's all very, very, relative, unfortunately. I'm sure there's some absolutes, sort of like, in some programming somewhere, maybe, but, it just seems like, yeah, I mean, it's relative in that sense. So, in a way, I don't think I'm a loser. In a way, I think I'm like the most victorious person here.